So on this one, we're taking a look at Nick Pringle, who's getting the ball in the high post area here. And what I want to point out is that right after he sets this initial screen on Sears, he could do more to make this a more difficult play on Clingan. All he has to do is be more active with his off-ball movement. You see, all this space that Clingan has sagged off on me is real estate that I can use to work with. And if I'm Nick Pringle, I'm trying to make Clingan work. One way I can do that is by making him move. The only way I can make him move is if I move myself. If Pringle were to catch this pass moving left, he'd put himself right at about the nail area. As he catches it moving to his left, Clingan will have to close out moving right. Omnidirectional movements are much more difficult for 7-footers to keep up with, and if you can get Clingan closing up from the ball while having to already move right and defend my one step left that I had already gained because of my off-ball movement, it's going to be much more difficult for him to defend. Also, you just take him further away from this give-and-go action and allow a clear path to the rim on the right side.
I feel the energy though. None of these people are friends with me though. I don't put anything past them.
Let's talk about tagging the roll guy through the lane. This is going to be Alex Caravan playing defense in the corner, and this is who we're going to watch on this play. If you're being a good defender, then you can see the ball and your man at the same time, and you should be anticipating this pick and roll as Grant Nelson goes to set it up. As Caravan anticipates this action on the opposite side of the lane, you see he begins to cheat off the corner and drift further and further towards the paint. The further the ball is from your man, the longer that pass is going to be, and the more time you're going to have to react and close out to him. So Caravan does a really good job of waiting until the action begins to develop before helping off the corner and then positioning himself perfectly to take away the roller's lane to the basket. At the beginning of this play, it's a much easier pass through just a few defenders, but by the time Alabama gets the ball into the lane, a pass to the corner would have to go over the top of multiple bodies, and it's a much more difficult pass to make. Therefore, I can be more in help. Threes and layups. That's what we heard from Nate Oates in Alabama all year long. And on this one, you can see Samson Johnson is staring right at Grant Nelson on this pick and roll because he's such a threat coming through the lane. He's concerned with what's going on in the paint, and that's going to give Stevenson pretty much a free lane to set a great screen here up to the high quad and open up this look. There's no help from Samson Johnson because he's just staring in the paint, and all Stevenson has to do is make good solid contact to open up this look. But it works the other way too, right? Once you're forced to defend the three, you're vulnerable to the layup and the dribble drive. Mark Sears is flying off this screen. He's 9 for 15 at this point over the last 2 games, so Hassan Diarra really has to fight hard to get over the top of that. But then he gives up that first step, and without Clingan stepping up, it's an easy layup. So anytime you get dribble drive penetration, which is what Mark Sears is doing right here on this play, there's roles and jobs for the guys who are off the ball. Great job to land on 2 feet, by the way. So starting in the corner, Stevenson, you pretty much have from like that second lane line all the way to the baseline to work with, just being available, whether it's on the 3-point line or in the short corner, wherever you feel comfortable. But for the guys up top, you follow the ball. Dribble drive right, you're going right, trying to spot up. Reason being, your defender is going to have a hard time watching you go one direction and the ball go the other. So you're just trying to make it as difficult as you can on him. Here we see Stephon Castle falling asleep, and it's a great cut from Rylan Griffin to get a look right around the free throw line.